What's the worst country you've been to? And when you were there, you were like, fuck this place.
Poland, bro. I came home starving hungry, bro. Couldn't no food there, I swear down. Even McDonald's tastes like shit, bro.
What foreigners really say about Poland online might shock you. Is the life in Poland experience what you think it is? Watch the full video to see the shocking truth about Poland from people who have actually traveled or lived there. Subscribe for more videos on Polish life, travel and culture.
Why should people come to Poland? This is the safest country in Europe.
The Swedish perception of Poland is that it's grey, people use horse and cart, and it looks like Second World War movies.
Yeah, I feel safe and happiness in Poland.
Polish people, I have a question. A lot of your people seem to have what we would describe as, in English, as an inferiority complex. And not about how they stand with other people, but how their nation stands with others. Like, you think it's some sort of dilapidated shithole, but it's actually one of the most developed countries in Europe I've been to. Looks a hell of a lot better than Italy. Looks better in France in most places. Germany, okay, a little bit different. That's a whole nother discussion. But I think Poland has a better future than Germany.
Poland feels safer than Western Europe. If you ask anyone who's travelled here, and a lot of them will say the same thing, Poland just feels safe. Walking around Krakow at night, taking trains between Warsaw and Gdansk, even hanging out in smaller towns, there's this sense of order and security you just do not always get when you're in London, Paris or Rome. Now the stats back some of this up. Poland consistently ranks as one of the safest countries in Europe for violent crime, and pickpocketing and scams, they are way lower than in tourist hotspots like Barcelona or Naples. I know I've lost multiple phones in Barcelona, but here's the interesting point. It depends who you ask. Some travellers argue it feels too safe, even conservative. Poland is socially more traditional, based around family, and not every visitor feels equally welcome. That's the debate here. Safer for who? Tourists also forget Poland sits right next to Ukraine. A literal war zone. Yes, cities like Warsaw have carried on almost unaffected, with daily life feeling calm and normal, thankfully. For some, that adds to the sense of resilience and safety. For others, it's a reminder of how fragile peace can be. So here is my question. Do you think Poland really is safer than Western Europe?
I remember one time walking with my fiancé somewhere and some guy started shouting at him that he should not be with me, that he should, go for a Polish girl. Sometimes people also look at me when I walk by. I don't find that racism more interests, or it's different, so they look. I was a bit scared before I came to Poland. They always told me that Poland is so racist, it's really bad, like you can't be yourself. But I didn't notice that much. So it was for me kind of okay, because I experienced racism in the Netherlands, and then I'm like,
no, we do not face any kind of racism. No.
Nothing.
Poland is a very good and quiet country. It's really peaceful. Army also is very good. They help a lot. They give us water bottles. They give us food, as you see.
This is a question I'm asked all the time. Are Polish people in large cities like Warsaw or Krakow racist towards foreigners, especially black people, from your experience? Well, my experience, for those of y'all watching this, I've been coming to Poland for 8 years. It is my favorite country. Like, it was one of my first loves. And before I came to Poland for the first time, I heard people say this. I heard people say that it's a racist country, that they don't like people who look like me. And think, back in 2015, when I first came here, there were no people of color that I saw here in Warsaw. And in my mind, I was so scared. I was so scared when I came here. And then I noticed when I came off the plane that a person looked at me and smiled. Then as I walked around, I arrived in Warsaw in the night, walking around. I thought people were gonna fight me and jump on me and hit me or yell horrible things out, things that has happened to me in the States, the United States where I'm from. And none of that happened. People stared, people looked, And as I went out, I would go out to bars or even in the malls, and I'd stop and say, hey, excuse me. And they would speak English. They'd be so surprised. And I was with so many people, and they said that I was the first black person that they had met and talked with and spoke with. Now it's a little bit different because a lot of more university students and everything. But back then, no. Back then, no. And they showed me around. And the whole reason I came to Poland was because I met people from Poland who invited me here. Like, I wrote a book called Poland My Way. If you want to read about it, you can learn all about all the stuff that I went through my first time here. Even someone kicked me. Like, I have a whole story talking about the worst thing that's happened. But in my experience, like, the people stare because they haven't seen anyone that looks like you. If someone has noticed that. But it's not racism, is something you have to be very careful with, because what do you mean by that? Does that mean they're going to spit on me when I walk by me? No. They look at me, they stare. People who are nice are nice. People who are rude. I've never felt anything. I haven't had anything that has been racist happen that I've seen. Maybe they've talked behind my back, but nothing violent. And I love it here. And I go around and people sometimes seem unhappy, but I don't think race. I don't think they don't like me because I'm black. I just know that a lot of people look at me because they've never seen anyone like me. Or my style, I got earrings, I go with a camera everywhere. And just to put it in perspective, my biggest following, most likely on my social medias, are Polish people. Now that's interesting, that if they didn't like black people, why would they befriend one? My biggest support, most of the money that I've probably made, I want to say, from contributions from people have been Polish people, or people who share the love of Poland like I do. It's one of those things, the people who talk bad about it are usually one of two people. They either have never been here, or number two, they had a bad experience. And a bad experience doesn't mean it's a bad place. They had a bad experience. Where were you when this happened? Who said that to you? You know, when you start to ask questions, you realize, like, well, your experience was at 4 o'clock in the morning when you were drunk, talking crazy, and then something happened. But in my experience, I've had nothing that I can remember that has happened that has made me think, like, I'm never coming back here again. People staring at me is not that big of a deal. Like, some people aren't used to it. So, of course, if someone tells you that people are racist and you go to a country and everyone stares at you, you're going to think everyone's racist. That's not the case. They're just staring. They've never seen anyone like you. Maybe you're attractive. Believe it or not, a bunch of Polish people think that I'm pretty attractive. And they look at me. Old, young, they look at me. But I don't think they're racist. I think they're just interested in me. But if you think it's because you think they don't like you, then you're going to have a different feeling. So in my experience, I wouldn't recommend it to people. I wouldn't tell people to come here. I, for sure, would not come back here. I can go anywhere that I want to. I choose to come back here and chose to come back here all the time. And I love it. I love the Polish people. They've supported me. They've taken me in, especially on my social media. During the day, it's a little bit, it's Poland, so I don't expect everyone to walk around and smile at me. But people recognize me on social media and they come up and talk to me. Always friendly, meeting people every single day. So, yeah. Come see for yourself. Or more importantly, if you want to know more about it, I wrote an entire book about it. It'd take you about an hour and a half to read, maybe even less. But talking about all the things that people told me about it and what I saw, how I experienced it, where people took me to. We talk about I went to backstage of concerts because they let me in. And I talk all about that. So if you have some time, go check it out. And it's not what people think. I love it. And I think the more people come here, the more that they'll love it too. Just getting past understanding what it is that is rude. Like someone not looking at you or not smiling isn't rude. It's the culture. A lot of things in the culture. So when you understand that, you're more understanding, and you're like, oh, it's okay. They're not mad at me. They've been having a bad day, or that's it. And then you start to embrace it a little bit more. So I'd say go out, come visit for yourself, see. You'll most likely probably fall in love just like I have with this country. Kocham ci Polska.
Guys, what's up? So I've been in Poland for a few days, just traveling around, doing tourist things. And a lot of people have been making remarks or asking questions about what it's like just being a black person in Poland, or as a tourist, that perspective. Because that's the only perspective I have. I cannot talk for someone who lives here. So things like, is it safe to be walking around the streets of Warsaw and stuff like that? So I just wanted to make a video talking about my experience, how I experienced Poland over the past 3 days as a tourist, an African being a tourist in Poland. I live in the Netherlands, so I have that more, Western European perspective. and there's a lot more diversity there from what I can see. It's like I've gone for 2 runs in the morning in Warsaw, just running around the streets of Warsaw, and I just came back from a run as well. And the amount of Africans I saw, black people on the streets I saw, I could count them. I saw 2, right, around the hospital, 2. The stares I get when I'm running around, it's just, I don't know what it is. People stare. It's normal. People stare. I've been to Rwanda. People stare in Rwanda more than I've seen in any other country. But here as well, they really stare. You know what I mean? Like and they really look. And I try to say hi. I'm DNW, but it's afternoon, so I cannot be saying good morning in the afternoon. I don't know if that's appropriate. So I just say hello to people. And a lot of the times they don't respond back. We went to the water park, the Suntago water park, and we're a group of like 5. I think we're 5 people, and it was just stairs after stairs. We're like the only black people in that place till like two other people came and joined afterwards. And it's a big park, it's a big water park. And we walked, from the moment we walked in, you could tell we have those stairs where they're like tapping people and be like, ooh, you know, tapping. Like, it was just left for people to come ask to take pictures. I don't know if they do that here, but it is the thing where you really clearly feel like, okay, ooh, they are not used to seeing Africans. I don't know if it's just in general or in places like that where you're just coming to have fun and enjoy. It was a very interesting experience for me. I've been to countries where I've had that before. You know, if you go to places like Estonia, where I went to, it's kind of a similar vibe. Turkey, also a bit, but this one too is just, it's different. I don't know if I would say I expected it, but now that I'm here and I'm just walking around and experiencing life in the country, I'm like, I'm not sure I'm surprised per se. I'm not sure I'm surprised. And chatting with the people, with the friends I have who live here, it's a similar experience. Like the integration into society is not that easy and all whatnot. I know there's possibly ways to make it easier for yourself, like learning the language, speaking the language, that kind of like makes life a little easier. I don't have the perspective of someone who lives here, but as someone who's a tourist, I would not necessarily say they are very used to interacting with Africans like that. Maybe English is the problem. Maybe they just cannot communicate in the language, so they'll rather just keep you at an arm's length. But my experience overall, it's not, I will not say it's been negative. Like, I've not received any racist remarks, comments, looks. Maybe they say it in Polish and I don't understand. But I've not had any encounters where I'm like, I'm not sure about that. So it's not been a negative experience, let that be clear. But it's just not been the most welcoming, positive, warm experience. So yeah, basically those are my 2 cents on my experience in Warsaw, Poland so far as an African tourist. Would still recommend, come see the place, come experience it for yourself. You know, you never know what you can learn. You never know what new insights you can get from just walking around the streets of Warsaw. You know, if I didn't have friends here, I wouldn't necessarily say I want to come visit. The city is like nice, the old and new juxtapositioned together. I like that. I like the high-rise buildings in the city center. I love the old buildings too in the old town. I love it, but it's not a country where I'll say, oh, I'll come back because there's something putting me back here. No, if people don't live here and I don't know people here, I'm not necessarily gonna. It's not the warmest place. You know, you go to Iceland, you have a lot of things that kind of. Maybe there's other parts of Poland I've not seen yet, and maybe if I see those ones, then my perspective might change. But so far, Warsaw has been all right. It has really just been all right.
Right now, so you're from Somalia, right?
Yeah.
What's one country you'd never want to visit?
Boom bam, boom bam, boom bam. I wouldn't like to go Poland, you know.
Why would you not want to go Poland?
I don't know, man. They're a bit too savage with the black people, innit?
Yeah.
So I'm not even trying to prove myself out there.
Yeah.
So I'll just skip that.
But I heard Polish got.
Shimano.
Piękna.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Piękna.
Give me no kurva, none of that. Yeah. You get me? So it's all love, man.
So there you have it, the shocking truth of what the internet says about Poland. The internet is a massive, messy mirror. It reflects the amazing experiences of visitors and expats, but it also captures the inevitable bumps and frustrations. The key takeaway? Don't let a few online comments define your view. The only way to truly understand the Polish experience is to go out and forge your own.